So you're thinking about moving to the North Dallas area? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over the differences and the similarities between Denton, Texas and McKinney, Texas. Oftentimes when people reach out to us looking to move to the North Dallas area, Denton and McKinney are usually on that list along with some other cities as well. But those two cities do have some similarities and some differences, so I wanted to go over those with you. And if you'll stick with me to the end, I'll even show you a few houses that have closed in each one of those cities so you can see what you get for the same price in each city. And if this is your first time to our channel, make sure you like, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know everything there is to know about living in the North Dallas area. Okay, so I said we're going to talk about Denton and McKinney, so let's go ahead and get to that right now. So as I talk about each city and each point that I'm making on the city, I'm just going to talk about both of them rather than doing all of Denton at one time and then all of McKinney at one time. We're just going to do side by side for each point. So before we talk about the cities, let me share my screen with y'all so you can see on the map. Okay, so I have pulled up Denton on the map so you can see where it's outlined in red here. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so you can see where it is in relation to Dallas. So here's Dallas. And you go up I-35 east, and that takes you to Denton. And then over here is McKinney, and I'll put that on the map here in just a little bit so you can kind of see how big it is as well. But I wanted you to see where Denton is. And let's zoom out just a little bit more so you can kind of get an even better feel for where Oklahoma is. So here's the Oklahoma border. Denton and McKinney both are not very far from Oklahoma. And as you can see, they're both not very far from Dallas. About a 40, maybe 45-minute drive, just depending on traffic, time of day, season, things like that. And then in between Denton, if you go down 380, in a lot of my videos, I talk about 380 because it's the main road that's going to take you from Denton through Prosper and Salina here, and even to get to Frisco, to McKinney. So Denton to McKinney, let's take a look at, I believe it's about 45 minutes. From Denton to McKinney. Okay, so 43 minutes depending on what way you go. Oh, see, it's actually faster to go out of the way than it is to go straight down 380. And that's because 380 has a lot of stoplights from here till you hit about Dallas North Tollway. Once you hit Dallas North Tollway, it really opens up right here. But as you can see from these yellow marks here, there's a little bit of a slowdown on 380. But most of the time, you're just gonna go down 380. Okay, so Denton, I showed you where that was on the map. Let's get out of here. So as you can see, Denton's a pretty good sized city. The population in Denton is around 140,000. It is growing pretty rapidly. I grew up here in Denton. My dad grew up here, and he remembers when the population was around 20,000. So it has definitely grown. There's a lot of housing, a lot of the congestion, or whatever you want to call it. Population is going to be, in this area, and then you kind of get out to a little bit of land out here. It's not so crowded out in these outskirts right here. So that is where Denton is. Let's just take a quick look at McKinney. All right, there we go. Okay, so there's McKinney. So great sized city as well. The population of McKinney, Texas is around 220,000. So you can see that it is considerably more than Denton. Not a lot more, but 60,000 that's a whole city for a lot of y'all. So it definitely has a higher population. Denton is in Denton County and McKinney is in Collin County. Collin County is expected to double their population by 2060. So that area is growing rapidly. Okay, let's zoom out on the map just a little bit so you can see McKinney and where it is in relation to Dallas. So McKinney, you just take 75 to Dallas, and then here's Denton, where the blue dot is, that's Denton. So just wanted you to get a little bit of a feel for that on the map before we talk about the two cities. So the median household income for Denton is around $72,000, and the median household income for McKinney is about $115,000. So that's a difference of about $43,000. So you can already tell that it's going to be more affordable to live in Denton than it is in McKinney. So let's talk about median home price in Denton versus McKinney. So the median home price as of 2024 in Denton is around $388,000, give or take a little bit, while the median home price in McKinney is close to $530,000. That's not, it's not a huge difference. It's not like it's, a $500,000 difference, but that's over $100,000 difference in median home price. So once again, that just goes to show you that Denton is looking to be more affordable to live in than McKinney. It's interesting because Denton and McKinney are often described similarly. Denton has that small town feel with a big heart. Well, McKinney's the same way. It does have that small town feel, but it's also got a lot of amenities and a lot of things to do. They are both very family-friendly cities, and they're both growing, and they're growing well. A lot of people really enjoy living in a city that has a lot of old to it, but also some new as well, and both of those cities offer that. They both have a strong sense of community. They both have a lot of historic charm. If you've ever been to the downtown square in both of those cities, which we'll talk about in a minute, then you would know what I'm talking about. And they both have a good balance of both urban and natural amenities as well. So let's talk a little bit about when we talk about historic charm, let's talk a little bit about that on both of the cities, because I think for me, that is what kind of makes a city what it is. I love going, whenever my husband and I travel with our kids, we just love going to the downtown areas of any city, because especially the old ones, because that's where you just get to see a lot of its charm, a lot of its friendliness, a lot of its originality. And I will tell you, both Denton and McKinney do not disappoint. Here's where they differ though. While they both have a great downtown, we call them a downtown square, they both have an amazing courthouse that's beautiful to look at. They both have shops and things like that. Denton's downtown square is probably going to be a little bit more eclectic. It's going to have a little bit more of just a different vibe to it. Denton is a college town. We have two major universities here. We've got UNT, which is University of North Texas, and TWU, which is Texas Women's University. And then we also have a thriving community college, North Central Texas College. Whereas McKinney does not have the major universities. They do have Collin College, but Denton is a college town. And you can definitely see that when you're on the downtown square. Now, there are people of all ages on the square, so it's definitely not just for college students by any means. In fact, I'm going to say that you probably have had a lot of the Gen Xers have taken over the downtown square, and we love that. But it's definitely a different vibe there. It's going to be more music and art. That's going to be the culture of the Denton Square. Now, going to McKinney, they have a lot of great shops and things like that. But I would say the downtown area of McKinney is just going to be a lot more, I would say probably more family friendly. It's just to me, it's a little bit calmer vibe. I feel like people are there to do more shopping than they are in Denton. I feel like Denton, it's definitely a hangout place for sure. But what you're going to find on the downtown Denton Square, and I have a whole video all about downtown Denton. Downtown Denton is really kind of known as the culture hub of North Dallas. We've got a lot of one-off brew pubs, bars, and when I say bars, these bars, yes, there's some that have live music and they kind of have that bar feel, but then there's a lot of them where you just sit outside on the front porch of the bar and you can watch people walk by. It's just they're great gathering spaces for your friends. A lot of great one-off restaurants on the Denton Downtown Square. There are a few boutiques. We don't have a lot of boutique shopping, unfortunately. The ones that we have, absolutely love them, but we need more of those. So we do need more boutiques on the Downtown Square, but it's really gonna be a lot more restaurant, brew pub, bar, things like that, coffee shops. On the square and off the square too, we have a Steve's Wine Bar, which is a locally owned wine shop. Hoochie's Restaurant, which is an amazing Cajun restaurant. There's just so many restaurants to name, but that's gonna be your downtown Denton. Down McKinney, I was just there recently doing some shopping, and there's a lot. There are a lot of clothing boutiques and home good boutiques. So a lot more shopping to do in downtown McKinney. Yes, there are bars and wineries. There's live music there as well. A lot of great restaurants. in downtown McKinney as well. They're both great places, but one is just going to have a different feel than the other. So they both offer good nightlife. You do not need to go to Dallas in order to get nightlife by any means, or even Frisco. Denton and McKinney both have great nightlife. You know, whenever you have a thriving downtown, like both of these cities do, you're going to have the live music, places to go for date nights. I know Denton has their wine tour, and I believe McKinney has that as well, where you get to go from shop to shop and sample wine. You can bring a picnic and sit out on the lawn, the courthouse lawn. I know that Denton is open container on the lawn. I'm not sure about McKinney, but Denton is. You want to make sure about that though. But you can bring a bottle of wine and a picnic and sit out on the lawn. So there is plenty of nightlife in both of those places. You do not need to leave Denton or McKinney in order to get that. So let's talk a little bit about the culture or things that both cities have to offer as far as recreation, events, and things like that. Once again, there are some similarities here. Denton has just a lot of really fabulous annual events. Some of the biggest ones would be the annual Arts and Jazz Festival. That is a 3-day event with just countless booths and activities. You've got a lot of schools that come and their students perform, whether it's like the cheerleaders or drill team or music or jazz bands or orchestra. There's performances all the time. There's a lot of live music at the Arts and Jazz Festival. It's called Arts and Jazz. A lot of vendors. It is a great event. I love it every single year. People from all over come to this event. Denton also has the North Texas Fair and Rodeo every year. That is another pretty big event with some pretty big name artists that perform live music. There's also rodeos. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun to go to the North Texas Fair and Rodeo. There's always going to be something to do. There's the food, the rides, the shows, the live music. So that's another big draw for Denton as well. So we have that every year. I have to mention the annual tree lighting and Wassail Fest. So if you don't know what wassail is, you need to look it up. But basically, wassail is hot apple cider. And what I love about this event that they have in December, you never know if it's going to be really cold or if the weather's going to be really nice, but they shut the square down as far as, cars can't come in and out. And every shop you get to go by and taste a little bit of hot apple cider, and everybody's is going to be different and it's so delicious. But that's really not the main event. They have the tree lighting. They've got a snow hill, Santa. There's so many things to do at this event. Also, what I love about it is oftentimes you'll see like the Denton High School Jazz Band will perform. You'll have some drill teams do a performance. The Nutcracker, like the ballet, they'll do a little performance. Even just churches will maybe sing some carols. So that is a fabulous event. Every year, there's always so many people, and you just end up meeting new people and running into people you know. There's also vendors there, so that's a great event as well. There is Day of the Dead with coffin races, super fun. 4th of July parade, we have Juneteenth celebration, Redbud Festival, Dog Days of Summer. There's a lot that Denton has to offer when it comes to events. You don't have to go to Dallas to get that. Well, McKinney isn't much different. They offer a lot of events as well and things for you to do. They've got Oktoberfest. They have what's called Red, White, and Boom. It's got a parade. It's got a carnival, concert with live music and fireworks. They've got Trick or Treat at Town Lake Park, holiday tour of homes. That is so much fun to do. I love doing that, the holiday tour of homes. So much fun. And they also have the Parade of Lights. Theirs is called Home for the Holidays. And they've got Santa, photos of Santa, train ride, a petting zoo, tree lighting. So kind of like what Denton has as well, but in McKinney. So you can see that there are some similarities there as well. Both Denton and McKinney offer lakes and parks. There's plenty of recreational things to do. In Denton, you've got Lake Ray Roberts, which is close by, and Lake Louisville that's close by as well. We also have what's called Little Elm Beach. So Lake Ray Roberts is a very big lake with boating and fishing, hiking, a lot of places to discover. And There's a Isle du Bois beach, but Little Elm Beach is going to be more of a gathering space. You're going to see a lot more kayakers and paddleboards out there, some sand volleyball, probably a lot more kids out at Little Elm Beach for sure versus Lake Ray Roberts, where it's going to be a little bit more relaxing. And of course, Denton's got plenty of parks. We've got several really large parks here in Denton, and then a lot of small parks just kind of clustered throughout the city as well. So plenty of spaces to play for recreation, and oftentimes there will be a movie in the park, which is really fun here in Denton as well. And by the way, at the lakes that I mentioned, Lake Louisville and Lake Ray Roberts, you can definitely go camping there. That is a really fun experience. You don't have to have an RV. A lot of people go with tents. It's really fun, but Denton does have a lot of camping, boating, fishing, has some hiking and things like that. McKinney has Lake Lavon and Lake Louisville, which I've already mentioned for Denton, but it's got both of those lakes. And once again, you've got boating, fishing, and camping there as well. McKinney has Town Lake Park, which is known for its beautiful lake, its walking trails, picnic, and playground areas. Bonnie Went Park has an amphitheater. It's got a dog park, walking trails, and a large playground. There's just a lot of parks offered in both of these places. Too many to mention. So the city of Denton currently has 4 high schools with another one in the works. McKinney currently has 3 high schools, and I'm sure there are plans for more high schools there as well. They're both going to offer very similar things. AP courses, which would be your advanced placement classes, dual credit, which is going to work with the colleges specific to that city in order for your student to gain college credit while they're still in high school. So they're both going to offer those. I know that Denton also has Denton High School, which is an international baccalaureate, or what's called an IB school. And if your student goes through that program in high school, they could potentially graduate as a sophomore in college. So that's not every city has an international baccalaureate high school, but we have that here in Denton, and that would be Denton High School. They're both going to offer career and technology courses as well. In Denton, they have LaGrone Academy, and so that's going to have things such as cosmetology. You're going to have like first responder, so police, fire academy, mechanics, welding. So some of those are going to be trades, which I think is absolutely fabulous and very much needed. So I'm so glad that our schools are now offering these, whereas years ago, that wasn't even an option. But I'm so glad that it is now. But both of those, Denton and McKinney, are going to offer those things, but you really want to make sure that you are sure about what school your student is going to, because most of them are going to offer the same things, but they're all going to be different. Some schools have a better football team or a more winning football team. Some might have, like Denton High School has an international baccalaureate, and Denton might offer maybe more trades than McKinney offers, or some things like that. So you really, really want to check with the school if that's really important to you on which school your student attends, to make sure that they offer the advanced placement class that your student needs. That's very important when looking for a home, that you know what schools your students are going to. Both Denton and McKinney have a very diverse population, and not just race and ethnicity, but also age and socioeconomic background. So they're both very well-rounded, very diverse cities. Okay, so I wanted to just go over just a few sold houses in McKinney, and then we'll look at a few in Denton. So these are going to be houses that range anywhere from $400,000 to $500,000. So just kind of wanted you to get a feel for what you get in McKinney. So this house right here is 1,624 square feet. It sold for $247 a square foot for $401,500. So it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. So as you can see, this is just kind of a typical home. It's got carpet and tile. There's a fireplace here. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, nice home. This is going to be about what you're getting in McKinney for $400,000. Okay, you've got a backyard with a patio, decent sized backyard. Okay, before we keep going, there are going to be parts of McKinney that is also Frisco ISD. So that's going to make a little bit of a difference as well. So just keep that in mind. This house is Frisco ISD. So this house right here is about 2,400 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. It sold for about $450,000. So that put it about $187 a square foot. So not too much different from the previous house that I showed you in McKinney. Okay, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, carpet, tile. Let's take a look at I know I'm going through these quickly. I see a lot of houses. So let's look at the backyard. It's about the same as the other one. This one has a neighborhood pool. That's not a pool in the backyard. That would not be a $450,000 house if that were the case. Okay, let's take a look at one more in McKinney. This house is also in McKinney, but it's in Prosper ISD. Okay, so this one sold for $500,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home at 2,150 square feet. So that puts this one at about $232 a square foot. So this one does have engineered hardwood. That is engineered hardwood, beautiful hardwood floors right there. There's a fireplace, kitchen with a little bit of an island there. But you can see that yes, this house has the granite. It's got a beautiful gas cooktop there. And once again, you've got more of that flooring. Looks like this one's been updated a little bit. New carpet, outdoor kitchen with a somewhat covered patio. Okay. Okay, well that would be why it's $500,000 then. Okay, but I just wanted you to see what you get for $500,000 in McKinney. Now let's take a look at 3 houses in Denton. Okay, so here's an example. I'm going to show you how much more affordable Denton is than McKinney. This is just the facts. They're both great cities to live in. But this house right here is 2,818 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. And let's look at the pictures. Pretty big backyard compared to the other 3 that I showed you. This house sold for $420,000 at $150 a square foot. So you can see the difference between purchasing a home in McKinney and purchasing a home in Denton. And I will tell you, your high school is probably going to make a difference in the price of the home. If the high school is more or less desired, that's going to make a difference in the price of the home. Just simply where it is in the city is going to make a difference as well. What neighborhood is it in? What are the houses around it like? That's going to make a difference as well. But this house, this is a beautiful home, and it was the same price as the first 2, just about the first 2 that I showed you. This one was 2,800 square feet. So that's a pretty big difference, okay? A corner lot as well. Let's take a look at 2 more. This cute little house right here in Denton is 2,512 square feet. That's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. Oh, I love that front porch. Let's just go back and take a look at that. That is so cute. I would be having my morning coffee out there all the time. In fact, I do that in my house all the time, especially when the weather's nice. We have some beautiful weather here in North Texas. So this house sold for $450,000. That's $179 a square foot. So you can see the difference between this house and the other house I showed you in McKinney that sold for the same price. You just get a little bit more home here in Denton. This is a really cute house. I like this one. Oh, is that a little screened-in porch? Okay, that's really, really nice. I love that. We have a sunroom in our house. If you've seen any of our videos, I'm not in my office. My office has been taken over by our son. He moved back home because he is currently taking EMT classes and will be taking some tests here pretty soon in order to be a firefighter. So he's going to move back home for just a little bit so he can get through all that. So he took over my office. So I'm in a different office in our house. Oh, look at that beautiful backyard. Y'all, that is gorgeous. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not pretty here in North Texas, because it is. There are some places that are not. This is a beautiful backyard. Y'all, this house sold for $450,000. And I already showed you the other ones in McKinney. In fact, go back and take a look at those, okay? And this one had brick in the back too, okay? So anyway, I just think that's a beautiful backyard. Very, very nice. Love the trees. Look at that privacy. Oh, it's very close to a hiking and bike trail. Love that. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay, and the last house. So this house is 3,233 square feet. It sold for $495,000. That puts this house at $153 a square foot. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home with 2 living areas. This is actually a new construction home, brand new home. Let's see. You've got gas right there as well. I'm just a fan of gas cooktops. So this is a beautiful home, large home, brand new home for right under $500,000. Look at those floors. They're absolutely gorgeous. All the space in this house. I know I'm going through this quickly, but that bathroom, beautiful tile. So once again, some of the difference between McKinney and Denton is definitely going to be your budget, your money is going to go further on a home in Denton than it is McKinney. And look at that. Entire backyard is bricked, good sized backyard, community pool here as well. So you can see that there are differences in your budget in the homes between Denton and McKinney. But whether you're looking to move to Denton, McKinney, Prosper, Salina, Frisco, just in the North Dallas area in general, make sure you reach out to us. Give us a call. Shoot us a text. You can send us an email. All that information is in the description below. Like I said, we have people reaching out to us all the time looking to make a move here. We absolutely love that. We sell pre-owned homes and new construction. We sell both of them. So if that's you and you're looking to move here in 9 days or 9 months, make sure you reach out to us. Go back and take a look at some of our other videos that we have on areas in North Dallas, and we'll see you on the next one.